Well, hello there, welcome. Romy be flipping her hair back and forth as she opens the film riding her hubby Jacob. Though they have been together for 19 years, their love remains exactly the same. Romy goes to the next room, plays some P-Hub, and starts to give herself a fistful while seeing another lady get controlled until Jacob at last falls asleep. She a girl boss, hence she rehearses her speech the next day. She also makes her kids breakfast and lunches. She eats with daughters Nora and Isabel and husband Jacob. And vicious dog is going to attack her on her way to work. Suddenly, a chiseled man urges it to stop. She arrives slightly late for the launch, but Esme, her assistant, has already set everything she needs. Romy is releasing a new product and is the CEO and creator of Tinsel, business building robots for warehouse automation. Oh, she finna cause unemployment among Amazon workers. Then Esme brings Romy, the new interns, to meet. Samuel, one in turn, questioned Romy's speech's authenticity or merely theatrical quality. Embarrassed, Esme walks them outside. Romy's eyes stay somewhat too long on the man. Romy sees the intern once more a little later and requests him to bring her a coffee, so behaving like a good lad. Samuel says he offered the dog a treat to help it relax. He even jokes and asks Romy whether she would want one as well. Boy, she may be your granny. Jacob requests another Uber ride later that evening, but Romy tries to precisely tell him what she wants. She continues to give him directions on how to dominate her, but Jacob laughs and claims he cannot do it since it makes him feel like a villain. Romy finally caves and lets him pursue anything he chooses. Romy tells Esme she grew up in communes and cults, and she is surprised since black people don't play with that crap at a party. Samuel then trails Romy outside to smoke. Romy is shocked that Samuel chose her as a program mentor since he claims to have done. Romy sees Samuel dropping his necktie on the floor as everyone is dancing. Romy hides Samuel's necktie and grabs it the next day as the office is being cleaned. She smells it when she gets it to her office and puts it in her mouth while she gives herself the five-finger thrill. She gets some injections to her face, cryo-freeze treatments, and even routinely goes to therapy as her looks is as vital to her as her mental health is. The family snaps pictures together, but Isabel makes fun of her mother's fixation with looking younger. Alright, but Isabel seemed like a they-them. Samuel notes the little dots on her face in the elevator the following day. She needs not those, he informs her. Then he brings back their Tuesday mentorship session. Romy reminds Esme of her promise to promote her soon as she is applying some lotion on her face. Romy turns up for the 10-minute introduction with Samuel on Tuesday. Just the two of them, the room is soundproof. He comes across as quite relaxed back. They begin by discussing Romy's company's founding before turning to Romy's leadership role. Samuel claims at one time he believes Romy enjoys receiving instructions on behavior. My vag is steaming, Mr. 50 Shades of Grey. Romy tries to leave blushing, but Samuel stops her. She then kisses him back when he leans in to plant a kiss. She then leaves the room apologizing. When Romy wakes up in the middle of the night, Ophelia, the teenage next door, is there. Isabel tells the following day she was simply having fun with Ophelia, but she is in love with her girlfriend, Mary. Oh, like mother-daughter, they both are cheaters, horse. Samuel asks Romy once more at the office to respond to the email regarding their second mentorship session. Romy attempts to avoid him, but he won't let her go until she promises she will consider it. Romy then visits the theater where Jacob is a director in an attempt to replicate the well-adored film Emilia Perez. Romy hardly visits Jacob at work, hence he is astonished. Romy is seated with co-workers during a night out when all of a sudden she gets a glass of milk. She surprises herself since she did not order it. She gulps it down without looking Samuel in the eye. However, she soon finds who supplied it. Samuel then passes her and remarks her as a good girl. That made my clit perform gymnastics. Romy compliments Jacob and the performers following a great theatrical performance, but she says she cannot stay long since she has work to do. Since Jacob truly needs her to stay, he is let down. Romy returns to the workplace discovering Samuel's note inviting her to meet. She discovers herself in a modest hotel awaiting him the next day. She says she came to tell him to stop his inappropriate behavior only. She argues he's too young and she doesn't want to hurt him, but Samuel knows Romy will lose everything she owns one phone call from him. Knowing this gets her on, he instructs her to kneel. Romy turns and kisses Samuel even though she still questions everything. He prefers it differently, thus they fight till she falls on the ground. He eats from his hand. Romy acts like a pet since she likes being petted and patted like one. She believes she will pee when he starts touching her, and she starts crying when she eventually goes over the brink. His holding and comforts her start their affair. She even walks into the bathroom while he is peeing and performs strange actions like shattering plates and all fours Romy cleaning it. Still, Romy returns home to her amazing family as though she is not being hogtied following her 9 to 5. One day, Romy gets home and is shocked to find Samuel seated with her family. Samuel says he was requested to bring her laptop personally, as Romy forgot it. Jacob and the girls then ask Samuel to hike with them. Romy emphasizes to Samuel later in the car that her family is everything to her and advises him not to show up at her house once more. Samuel thus gets enraged since he feels envy. Romy should not worry, he advises her since she appears like a mother and he does not want her as a girlfriend. She went puked and gushed. She claims she is simply looking out for him as he is a zygote. She then advises they go on maintain things professional. Not long later, Samuel tells Romy he wants to be moved to another department, but she objects as an internal probe will be started, and she could lose all she owns and people would be asking questions. Jacob intends to break his wife's back one night, but Romy has reached her limit and eventually confronts him stating she never had an orgasm with him. Bitch leaves the house that night to see Samuel at the bar where he works, so bewildered, only to be turned away. She tells Jacob the following day she didn't mean what she said the evening before. Girl, your vaginal range is bipolar. Romy requests to see Samuel days later since she can't stand it anymore. He begins with a small threat exposing everyone. Only if Romy agrees to follow exactly what he advises will he stay. Romy doesn't want to, hence Samuel tells her he will speak with someone and seek to be transferred should she disagree, saying all the same that what they have is consensual. Samuel tells Romy to sit on the edge of the table since she still questions things. He then hands her the 2-finger special till she declares she will follow exactly his instructions. Samuel still treats Romy like a pet as the affair carries on. Romy even picked the name of her husband as their safe word for their activities. She once licked leftovers on her face and gets on all fours to slosh a plate of milk on the floor. The way they created the trailer, it was really beautiful and appealing. But today I wish this love never finds me. She becomes so engrossed with it that it begins to interfere with her family life. Esme shows up during Isabel's birthday celebration along with Samuel. Romy tells Samuel she doesn't want to share him when she finds out the two are dating. Esme almost catches them in a quite clear scenario and gets enraged. Romy advises Esme to use caution after she learns about the connection, as she has authority over Samuel, a still intern. Oh, the one doing all of that is you. Romy tells her spouse she has to stay at the office after work, lying. She seems not to mind even though the middle of the night is a lengthy drive. At last she arrives at the club, full of people fighting among one another. She looks so lost. A woman offers her some water and then kisses her. At last she finds Samuel. The 58-year-old dances and makes out with him in the center of the throng. When they're at last finished, he brings her to a peaceful spot where they get high and snuggle as they chat. Samuel says he enjoys Romy and Esme, but in different ways. Romy at last makes her way home early morning. Still awake, Isabel is worried about her mother since she notes something has changed. Romy guarantees her everything is good. Romy constantly appears to forget, hence Esme visits their apartment the next day to discuss her promotion. Esme therefore at last admits that she is aware of Romy and Samuel's relationship. Romy looks startled, but given the bitch was clearly visible, I'm not sure why. Esme guarantees her she won't damage her reputation. She just wants to be promoted since she deserves it, not because Romy is worried she would tell the world her secret. Surely, boss's move is excellent. Romy is advised by Esme to keep generating chances for women working with her company. She also expects Romy to quit meeting Samuel and that she would keep being the moral model she always believed of to be. Still rocked by the disclosure, Romy tells Jacob at last. She acknowledges that she tried everything, including therapy and other activities, but nothing turned out to correct her. She writes another man since she claims she couldn't receive what she wants from Jacob. She lies once more, claiming it was a stranger and that it happened once alone. Bitch, you produced that until it became chafed. Romy also acknowledges that the excitement of having something at stake, like losing her profession or her family, was what drove her, not the quirks or the sexuality of it. At last, Jacob snaps. She has compromised the most vital thing in their life, their children, hence he advises her to pack her bags and leave the house. She observes Samuel swimming in the pool when she is lodging in their estate. She holds his hand and he pulls her into the water. They then keep out and hug each other. Suddenly, Jacob steps in and they conduct their chat indoors. Romy tries to convince them to stop while the conference gets more intense and Jacob and Samuel start to grapple one another. When they at last cool off, Jacob believes Romy has betrayed Samuel, but Samuel says otherwise. Jacob bursts in tears and experiences a panic attack. First, Samuel attempts to cool him down, then Samuel chooses to leave. Esme at last earns the promotion she has always wanted. Some time after that, Esme is ready to keep everything a secret so that women can live in an environment free from obstacles, allowing them to keep climbing the ladder. Isabel also visits Romy at their holiday property and discovers her asleep on the couch. The family needs her, hence she wakes her and persuades her to come home. And Jacob is reading the Bible in an unusual manner as well. Jacob ignored the girls, so they never know what the issue is between their parents. Still, Isabel is rather convinced her father will pardon her mother. Romy thus pays her daughter some attention at last and visits the theater to meet Jacob. She acknowledges that she was the problem and that she caused it. Sebastian, a colleague she meets when she gets back to the office, notes Samuel has already changed companies, indicating he knows about the affair. He understands Romy has something to do with it. Then, behaving so haughtiness, he orders Romy to see him at his house so they may discuss it. Romy tells him off, claiming she would hire someone to be humiliated if she wanted to be embarrassed. Not realizing Romy still thinks of Samuel treating her like a pet dog, Jacob starts to believe everything is good now. Thanks for being with us this far.